So we have 5 minutes left. I want to give Peter a chance to any further kind of reflections that he has, the things that he thought, gee, I wished I had said. Now he has a chance actually to say those things, as well as maybe take a final question. Peter.
Thank you both. That's really very helpful. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
I just want to thank you for your warmth and your generosity of spirit. And I would just want to say that you were such an inspiration to those of us who are in training. And I truly hope that the type of psychology that you've chosen to practice is something that continues on, and that DNA continues to infiltrate generations that are going to be coming forward. And I also just want to acknowledge those in the audience who also are individuals that might be hiding in plain sight or straddling two worlds, who are also disadvantaged in addition to being upwardly mobile and moving towards a world of advantage.
Really? Good. And you're the one that's going to continue on. You carry the DNA. You're going to make this work, and all the rest of you. So?
Well, I was just going to ask a question about a couple of the cases. Did the woman ever touch her baby?
Yes. Yeah. She was a great mom.
Okay, good. And the story about the crib. Now that was because that she kept the baby and she should have had the baby taken away, or?
You don't buy things for clients.
You just don't.
You just don't. No. I should have connected her up with some agency that would have done that for her. My fear was it wasn't going to happen the next day. I was definitely wrong. I should have gone back to my office to my supervisor and had my supervisor go out and buy it or something. Just something that I was not the therapist.
Okay.
You know, if I was supervising the case, I definitely would have fired me too. Not fired me, but taken me off the case. No, I own the agency. I did get in trouble. I had a supervisor and I did get in trouble.
So the issue was not in the crib, it was where the baby was.
You don't have a dual relationship with the client. You're the therapist or you're a case manager who buys the things or what. I was wrong, what can I say? We're paying for it for years still. They will not let me forget.
I just want to say I appreciate all your little anecdotes. They just bring life to, this is just a little capsule of what you've experienced.
I'm a storyteller. And in therapy, I tell a lot of stories in therapy because I don't think most of us are really abstract thinkers. You know, we will if we have to. But on our own resources, we're all pretty concrete thinkers. I can relate to a story about a person who did a thing much more easily than I can about the abstract concept. So I often tell stories about things that happen to my clients, and sometimes they relate to it.
This is related to something you had up there. You said, answer the unasked questions.
Oh, I didn't talk about that much. Thank you. See, that was an unasked question. Yeah. Well, I see that in a couple of ways. One is that our clients come to us and they don't ask a certain question that I know is in the back of their mind. One of the questions is, why do you want to help me? Why do you, a rich white guy, and I'm rich because I have a car and I'm wearing better clothes than you, and therefore in their mind I'm rich and clearly I'm white. Why do you want to help me? And they have to have an answer to that. And the answer is different for everyone. And be careful what answer you give. Give them an answer that they can believe. Because if you answer and say, oh, I just love people, and you sound like, you know, you're competing for Miss America, I want to make the world a better place. It's like, they will decide you're a leper kisser and they don't want anything to do with you. I have to give them an honest answer. Depends on the person. You know, you can't manufacture honest answers. Sometimes it's because you were referred to me by somebody I care about. They have a stake in your success, If they think that you're worth working on, then I want to do that too. Sometimes it's, I like being good at my job. Sometimes it's, you owe us something, buddy. You got some resources, you haven't done squat with it, and I want something from you. I want you to make some country. It depends on the person, but it has to be an honest answer. But so that's one of the unasked questions, is why do you want to, clients have like a series of questions they have for us. One question is, why do you want to help me? And the next is, not so much a question, is, I dare you to like me. As they start to tell you the stories, their stories often, they think they make them unlikable, because if they've been abused, their abuser often told them, this is your fault. And they think that it's just something to be ashamed of. It's somehow my fault. So they're often not sure whether, if I tell you your story, if I tell you my story, are you able to like me? And they dare you to like me. Then they'll kind of they'll tell this and they'll just throw it out to you. And it's, I'm daring you to like me. If I tell you all this and you still like me, then, but also clients also have questions that are issues that they won't bring up to us because they don't think we're ready to hear it. This happened, I think 20, 30 years ago, we figured this out for sexual abuse. We realized that kids are being sexually abused and they don't tell anyone about it unless you ask. How many kids and adults were therapy clients who never told their therapist that they had been abused? Why? They didn't think their therapist was ready to hear it. Now, we knew this 30 years ago, we were working on it, and maybe 10 years ago we realized, oh, wait a minute, how many people are self-harming and not telling anyone? Now, why don't you tell anyone? Because they're ashamed of it, because they want to hide it, because they don't think you'll understand, because they think if I tell you that I cut myself, then you're going to commit me to a hospital because you think I'm suicidal. It's got absolutely nothing to do with suicide. It's self-harm. It's a coping mechanism. So clients often have these issues which they're not really willing to talk to you about unless you let them know that you want to hear it. And the whole thing about culture is like, you can sit in a therapy session with somebody of a different culture and do your whole course of treatment and never mention culture because they don't usually bring it up. Some will, but many will not. And especially those who are disempowered. It's like, bring it up. It's like, they know that you're a different culture. Bring it up, ask them. It's like, you know, what's it like to be working with somebody who's white and educated? And you think about that. And then they'll talk about, sometimes they'll talk about their families, and you can talk a little bit without crossing boundaries about your feelings. So I'm sorry I didn't touch much. Thank you.